Folks, it is 10:15 on Sunday, the 23rd of February. Thank God February's coming to a close. Emotions and what was it? Emotions and something this month. I keep forgetting. Emotions and passions and emotions. Well, we certainly had a lot of passions and emotions this month, let's be honest, with everything that's been happening with Steam and Tron. And I've had my account nuked because life happens. I'm like such a massive tax on the Steam blockchain. I nearly did a Trump then. Not literally a Trump, but a Trump impression. So the video today I wanted to do is how could witnesses supernodes stay running in a pre-pandemic world with without multisig and billing covered. Now this is just like, I don't know why I woke up with this in my mind. Maybe it's just that coronavirus is still like news that sits in the back of my mind that I'm constantly looking at. It's actually replaced me checking Twitter and email in the morning as I bring up that page and just have a look at the stats, look at the chart, see how it's going up and across, and then hearing other countries, especially something like Italy this morning, that is gone to extreme measures that they've literally quarantined 2 towns, I think, because 2 people have actually died from coronavirus, which is a huge deal. And it also feels like a fucking game. It also feels like we're in some kind of Escape from Tarkov. Kind of makes me wonder if this was always where we were going to be at, where live streamers were going to be our news in the dying days of the human condition, human species, that Ninja would be our news source on the internet while the internet ISPs stay up until the diesel generators run out of fuel. Because people don't really take into account that kind of stuff, right? I was seeing some crazy numbers like that previous pandemics had killed off like a huge percentage of civilization. Like, and people have been badgering around numbers like 60% if this went like free fall. So obviously the first thing that comes into my mind is I hope it's the 60% of people that I don't like. I'm only fucking joking. In a pre-pandemic world without multisig and billing covered. That's the main point that I wanted to get across today, is what happens if one of those people or a group of those people, we have 20 consensus witnesses, and admittedly right now with the whole Tron situation, it is a bit blurred lines. Are we maintaining the integrity of the chain and the code, all running the same version of the code, and also keep on developing it and securing it from attack so that we have immutability across the ledger? Everybody's got their stake in this ecosystem. I think there's some blurred lines there right now. I saw a lot of talk, and I heard a lot of talk through the Discord about hostile takeovers, which kind of took me back a little bit. But also I'm not naive not to realize that, you know, if somebody has more than you and they want to overtake your company or buy you out, then that shit happens fast. And so then as an investor in the blockchain, even though I am a small investor, small amount of Steam power, where does that leave us as users if that the consensus witnesses are they're stuck in a rock and a hard place, really? Because if they fork somebody out, if they fork out Justin Sun's Steam pot, then you cause all kinds of online wars for a start. And then also, does it lose its edge? And then also the messaging is that Steam can, you know, the Steam community or the governance or the little mob can like just get anybody out of the chain, which kind of takes away from the original premise of what the Steam blockchain was about. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But what does concern me is the behavioral output that's come out of that. Because it was okay when Ned was being submissive and not voting for witnesses, therefore nobody had a power play environment. But I feel like governance has changed because a lot of the top witnesses also have projects on the Steam blockchain. So they have an obscure relationship anyway, because, you know, you've got Yappa P. Matt, who is the main lead on Splinterlands. Splinterlands is probably the most successful game on Steam. Makes a lot of money. A lot of people who have gone from other dApps have like concentrated on Steam, on Splinterlands, and they're pushing up the price of that. And at some point they'll cash that out. So, you know, there's people like Aggro, which I'm kind of surprised has dropped down to 18th place. So I'm wondering why people have voted like that when Aggro has done so much for this platform. So that makes me confused a little bit as to why he's there. Yeah, so there's just a lot going on, and so this kind of like made me think a little bit more this morning about what happens in a pandemic world where people are falling dead left, right, and center, and some of those are governance hosts, as in they are the admins or the sysops, not sysops, but the admins of those servers. And so what does that look like? Well, normally it's they have the access to the keys to their SSH to get into their servers, and they also have their billing for their server, probably monthly, but some of the top ones probably have already done a deal with the server company and paid it up for a year in advance if they're smart, because, you know, price fluctuations of Steam, you're probably better off paying it off when you've got a lot of money. But also we're going to see a bunch of people, a bunch of servers drop off as the price, you know, the price has been incredibly low of Steam for lots of different reasons. So I'm kind of, you know, and Luke Stokes was saying something about this a year ago about multisig, and he went off to do stuff with EOS, and he's still like a Steamian, he's still in the witnesses. And it got me thinking this morning, like, if we don't have some kind of multi-sig situation with governance witness servers, then we have a potential of losing really strong, good nodes. But then also, if you have multi-sig and other people have access to it, and some, you know, the main server guy dies and somebody steps in, then it's not the original person. So then the witness power, I guess people will just vote that person out because it's no longer that person, or I don't know. And so I'm kind of interested in that. I know that sounds like completely like out there and could never happen, but you know, things happen really quickly online, and the idea of like big numbers of people dying in society, like, I suppose at that point you're not going to be bothered about blogging anyway, or you might not be able to blog. You might not be able to actually post onto the ledger of a blog because you've got telecommunications people who are not going in and resetting servers and fixing firewall issues. So maybe, like, as you know, this will go hand in hand together. Is like, as soon as a virus pandemic thing takes over the world, then a lot of those telecommunications services and things are probably going to fall over in a fast period of time. I'm not saying like 48, 72 hours, but it depends on like how fast a virus or a pandemic takes off. One thing I will say, and the reason why I brought all this story up, is that yesterday I went shopping with my daughter, and the aisle that I normally go to, which is my kind of survivalistic, like I need to get chickpeas and rice and flour, they're my like three staples of buying bulk and big supplies. I always have a big supply of those in, was cleared out yesterday. Like, I know I'm just like exaggerating the situation, but like, I wonder if that is supply chain, or if that is people just like, you know, taking notice of worldly news and just stocking up on that stuff. But that triggered me yesterday to be like, wonder what happens with an immutable ledger that has like X amount of witness servers in the world. I know there's hundreds and hundreds of them, so, you know, then the conversation is, okay, if a lot of these servers fall over, how many can Steam survive on? And then does it become a situation of like, all right, we've only got 10 servers running because only these 10 hosts in the world are actually up and running and they've got power? It was something that I always wanted to know about, like the diversity of the server location stuff on Steam, is that surely we should be hosting in politically neutral countries that have like hydropower, for instance, they're self-sustaining wind power or whatever, and having server hosting there. But then maybe the electricity provisioning will just get redirected to services higher up the chain, depending on who's got the most money to be able to divert the energy to their stuff, which is more important to them. Also, is like the immutable blockchain really something that is like the text of Congress? You know, I'm sure they've got a backup plan or survival plan to make sure that the lights stay on as long as possible for all their works that they have in the Library of Congress, which I think at one point tried to index all of Twitter's tweets, which was the most stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of. All right, I just wanted to throw that out there. What do people think about that? Witnesses, supernodes, all of these cryptocurrency that we have that have big like nodes running on it, especially like Bitcoin, right? BTC, a lot of the miners are in China. Like, if you don't have engineers going in there and checking up on that, if you have like a fire in there, or if that falls over, or if there's an attack, or some low-level BIOS thing pops up, like, I don't know. I just see that cascade thing happening quickly, or am I just overhyping all of this? I would love your comments on this. I won't get any upvotes on this, or if I do get upvotes, it will get nuked in 7 days by Steam cleaners, because somebody in Steam Cleaners has such a grudge on me, and but that's fine. That's fine, because you know what? Life is good. I have stacks of chickpeas, rice, and flour, and I have something to say, and that's what the Steam blockchain's for. So I will catch up with you in the next video. See you soon. Bye.
Drifting